The James Webb Space Telescope is easily one of the most significant and exciting inventions of the 21st century so far. A telescope with the power to look backward in time to the very earliest days of our universe, using deep infrared imaging to peer through clouds of cosmic dust that obscure the birth of stars and galaxies. The James Webb is our looking glass into the hidden secrets of the universe, but recently the news is circulating everywhere about the James Webb being hit by a micrometeoroid causing some significant damage. So will this strike affect the performance of the telescope, or the mission for which it was sent into the deep space? That's what we'll be looking at in this video, but before we get into the main topic, you must first understand why the JSWT was sent into the space. Here's the answer. Purpose of James Webb Space Telescope, with the hope to find the first galaxies to form in the universe, searching for an Earth-like atmosphere around other planets, and many other significant goals. The powerful $10 billion JSWT was launched into space on December 25, 2021. It is designed in such a way that will allow scientists to study how stars form in the Milky Way and the atmosphere of planets outside the solar system. It may even be possible to figure out the composition of these atmospheres. The Webb telescope has a mirror over 20 feet across, a tennis court-sized sunshade to block solar radiation, and 4 separate camera and sensor systems to collect the data. Webb's mirror is made of 18 separate segments and can collect more than 6 times as much light as the Hubble Space Telescope mirror. It works kind of like a satellite dish. Light from a star or galaxy will enter the mouth of the telescope and bounce off the primary mirror toward the 4 sensors and IR cam, which takes images in the near-infrared. The near-infrared spectrograph, which can split the light from a selection of sources into their constituent colors and measures the strength of each. The mid-infrared instrument, which takes images and measures wavelengths in the middle infrared, and the near-infrared imaging slitless spectrograph, which splits and measures the light of anything scientists point the satellite at. Ever since Edwin Hubble proved that distant galaxies are just like the Milky Way, astronomers have started asking questions like how old are the oldest galaxies, how did they first form, and how have they changed over time. The James Webb Telescope was originally dubbed the first light machine because it is designed to answer these very questions. Another important goal of JSWT is to study distant galaxies close to the edge of the observable universe. It takes billions of years for the light from these galaxies to cross the universe and reach Earth. NASA's new powerful space observatory, the James Webb Space Telescope, got pelted by a larger-than-expected micrometeoroid at the end of May 2022. It is noted that it has caused some detectable damage to one of the spacecraft's 18 primary mirror segments. The impact means that the mission team will have to correct for the distortion created by the strike. But NASA says that the telescope is still performing at a level that exceeds all mission requirements since its launch, according to a NASA blog post. The James Webb Telescope has already been hit by 4 different micrometeoroids, but all of those were small and about the size of what NASA expected the observatory to encounter. If you are wondering what a micrometeoroid is, well, it's typically a small fragment of an asteroid, usually smaller than a grain of sand. The one that hit JSWT in May, however, was larger than what the agency had prepared for, likely less than 1 millimeter, and NASA spokesperson told The Verge in an email. NASA admits that the strike, which occurred between May 23rd and May 25th, caused a dimple in the mirror and a marginally detectable effect in the data, which engineers are continuing to analyze. Fast-moving specks of space are just an inescapable feature of the deep space environment, so NASA expected the James Webb Telescope to get hit by tiny space particles during its lifetime. In fact, NASA designed the telescope's gold-coated mirrors to withstand strikes by tiny space debris over time. The space agency also did a combination of simulations and ground testing, with mirror samples to determine how to best strengthen the mirrors to withstand the micrometeoroid's impacts. However, NASA says that the models they used for these simulations didn't have a micrometeoroid this large, and it was beyond what the team could have tested on the ground. Still, this doesn't come as a total surprise. Paul Geithner, the technical deputy project manager at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, said in a statement that we always knew that Webb could have to weather the space environment, which includes harsh ultraviolet rays and charged particles from the sun, cosmic rays from exotic sources in the galaxy, and occasional strikes by micrometeoroids within our solar system. Now, the engineers have the capability to maneuver the James Webb mirror and instruments away from showers of space debris, if NASA can see them coming. The problem, though, was that this micrometeoroid was not part of a shower, so NASA considers it an unavoidable chance event. Still, the agency is forming an engineering team to come up with ways to potentially avoid or lessen the effects of micrometeoroid strikes of this size. And since the Webb telescope is so sensitive, the telescope will also help NASA get a better understanding of just how many micrometeoroids there are in the deep space environment. Despite the strike, NASA remained optimistic in its post about JWST's future. Webb's beginning of life performance is still well above expectations, and the observatory is fully capable of performing the science it was designed to achieve. According to a blog, engineers can also adjust the impacted mirror to help cancel out the data distortion. The mission team has done this already and will continue to tinker with the mirror over time to get the expected result. It's a process that will be ongoing throughout JWST's planned 5 to 10 years of life, as new observations are made and events unfold. At the same time, NASA warns that the engineers will not be able to completely cancel out the impact of the strike. Since the James Webb Space Telescope is on its own out in space, NASA engineers had built JWST to be incredibly robust. Unlike its predecessor, the Hubble Space Telescope, which is currently in orbit around the Earth, the Webb telescope was designed to be serviceable. That means if something significant breaks on the spacecraft, engineers will have to troubleshoot a way to fix it from the ground. There's no capability at the moment to send humans or a robotic spacecraft to give JWST a tune-up. That means JWST will have to live with its slightly damaged mirror until the end of its missions, and NASA expects the spacecraft to get hit by even more debris over time. In the meantime, the strike doesn't appear to be impacting JWST's schedule. In fact, the news of this micrometeoroid comes just a month before a huge milestone for the mission. After spending the last few months finally calibrating JWST's instruments and delicately aligning the spacecraft's mirrors, the mission team is set to unveil the first full-color images from JWST on July 12th. NASA won't say what the images will be, but they should be spectacular. That's it for today's episode. Hope you've understood what exactly happened with the James Webb Telescope, and at the same time, enjoyed the video. For more interesting videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel and also press that notification icon. See you next time.